What's up YouTube, it's Louis here bringing you today's cryptocurrency video. Thank you guys for being patient. I know I haven't brought out an Elrond video in a while, but I'm going to go through all the technical targets to the downside and potentially to the upside. I am seeing more bearish targets than bullish, but we'll look at both cases to be honest. So please guys, I urge you all to watch today's Bitcoin update. It's the most important of them all. I'm going through a scenario that no one is talking about where Bitcoin could, and remember the keyword is could, potentially come down to 37k. I'll go through it in so much detail. Now of course, if you care about your altcoins, Bitcoin is really the only chart that matters, and I'll go through in detail why I think that it could, doesn't have to, but it's a possibility, and we always need to not maintain a bias to one side. We can't just be bulls guys, and we can't just be bears. We need to look at both cases. So that's why there's a lot of people out here that just focus on the bullish case, and there's also a lot of people just focusing on the bearish case. You need to be looking at people that look at both and don't really have a bias, and this is what I'll always try and strive to do for you guys, because you don't want to just have a perma bull or a perma bear, you know what I mean? We need to look at it always both ways. And so I hope you enjoyed that video. The link will be in the description down below, and of course let's get into Elrond. So what I'm seeing here, I know this is a green candle and we're looking at the monthly time frame. So I know this is a green candle, but when you see these green candles at resistance, just like you did here, this is called not a spinning top, a shooting star, which is a bearish reversal pattern. We have now had 5 months of green for Elrond. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is so overextended. What happened when we saw 6 months of green on Bitcoin? We went to 30k. So look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you rolled over for 2 months, and then this was basically consolidation for the 3rd month. So could we be rolling over hard now for Elrond? And I explain this exactly in Bitcoin. Now with Bitcoin, I know where it could potentially go to, but because with alts they bleed a hell of a lot more, I'm going to have to give you some targets, okay? So first of all, you can see with this rollover after printing that shooting star, which you're doing right now, you had a massive red candle, which we're doing right now. At the moment, I know we can't make a judgment because it's an open candle, but if the candle closed like this right now, it'd be a bearish engulfing like you had here, and a bearish engulfing is signaling a downtrend basically. It's a bearish reversal candlestick pattern basically. So we're in an uptrend and it's reversed you. These two candlestick patterns is what reversed you, and we're having them two right now if this candle closed as is. Of course we can't make a judgment, so we can only go off this one, but if we look into the past when we saw this candle, it followed by a rollover, which is what we're doing right now. And you have broken the lows, you have broken the lows of that wick, so this is why we could potentially roll over some more. I'm going to look at the smaller time frames with you, but let's start on the highest of time frames. So what I can see potentially for Elrond is that we could roll over to the 12, just like you did here. You rolled over to the 12, and then that next month you came down to the 20. So these two areas over here are potential support points. Now let's turn on the draw rings. So as you can see, I have been talking about the 618 in the past video, how if we do lose the 786, we're going to roll over to there, and that's sitting at $137, and that's at the 0618. So a lot of the time, once you get to the 1618, sometimes you come a bit short, but usually you roll over to the 1.272 or the 1. But I've told you in multiple videos in the past months that I have seen cases where you can come as low as that 0618 and still bounce and continue the bull market. And guys, to be honest, 5 months of up is not healthy, and that's why we had a major correction over here. Let's check from the top how big that correction was. So from the top here to the low, that's a 79% correction. I'm not saying we're going to do that exactly, but let's check what the percentage corrections are if we come to the 12 monthly or the 20 monthly. So from from the top over here, it has gone down already 61%. We are sitting at about minus 56, but let's check where the 12 EMA is at the 786, around 70%, and the 20 around 75%. And when we had 6 months of up here, what did we go down? Around 78%, and this is why potentially we could see Elrond roll over to that 0618, because I have shown you scenarios in the past where you do come up to these targets. Of course we want to see the 1 and the 1.272 hold, but of course it can come to 786. I'd love to see that hold, but we could potentially wick down to here, or even if we close down here, it's all fine to be honest, because you're still putting in higher lows over this. You have a high, low, higher high, so even if you came all the way down to here, it's still bullish, but of course you would be losing the 20 EMA, and of course we don't want to see that anyway. But I'm just telling you guys that technically speaking, you could roll over all the way to $84 and it would still be bullish. Now of course we don't want to see that whatsoever, so that's why I'm going to tell you about these two targets. So the 0618 is sitting at $137, and the reason why this better fits it is because this did around 79% minus, and this drop would be around minus 75. And if we do just roll over to the 786, which would be perfectly fine, about minus 69%. So let's take a look now at the weekly time frame, see what is going on. So you haven't formed a bearish cross, which is amazing. Last time you did, you roll over to the 55. So that 55 EMA is actually at the 786, and we are below the 20 at the moment. Last week you closed above it, but at the moment we are below it. So if we were to see the one hold, we don't need to roll over, but I've already gone through why we could potentially be rolling over, and that's all explained in today's Bitcoin video. Please watch that video, guys. I urge you. I never get enough views on the Bitcoin video, and they're the most serious ones because there's more data on those charts. It's more reliable because it's not as much there's not as much volatility. Like with Bitcoin, it will meet the fib targets. With altcoins, it can completely overshoot the fib targets, and that's why it's so important that you guys watch the Bitcoin videos. So I hope you're enjoying this video so far. Please leave this a thumbs up and your comments down below, your opinions, what you think about this potential scenario. We need to get this community going. Let's get this to over 10 likes, please. I would honestly be so thankful if we can do that. So the 55 EMA sitting at 786 at $177. So lose the one, we're coming to the 786. You can see in the past here, we did roll over below that 55 weekly and got back above, confirmed its support and continued. So if you were to lose that 55 EMA on the weekly, of course, we don't want to see it hit as resistance. But to be honest, guys, the only chart I care about right now is the Bitcoin chart. So even if you were to lose this like you did here, Bitcoin didn't. You know what I mean? Bitcoin had a little rollover below it and instantly got back above, back in July, basically. So that's why even if you do lose it over here, come to that 0618, $137, I won't be caring about this chart. I will only care about Bitcoin. And it's the same for all my other altcoins, guys. No matter how bad they look, it's all on Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin wants to come down to that 20 monthly EMA and backtest their support, then even if these ones are below, it doesn't matter because Bitcoin is all that matters. So I hope you understood that. So let's take a look at the daily time frame. So on the daily, you have now just formed the bearish cross, the 20 and the 55 EMA bearish cross, and that's basically what signals a downtrend. But we were already in a downtrend and we already knew this, and we were already showing you potential targets to the downside. But all this is basically saying is that it's confirming that this is a downtrend. And most of the time, when you get the bearish cross, you do fall to the 200 EMA. So make sure you have that 200 EMA on your chart. A lot of the time, you can go below it and then get back above it quickly. That's fine. But as long as you're not hitting your head on the 200 EMA, like what I mean by that is I don't want to see something like this where it comes down and instantly gets back up. That will be a fake out. But if I were to see something like this where it significantly drops and takes its time, coils up, corrects up, takes its time, then that's where I can say we're going to continue down. We're now in a confirmed downtrend. Now of course you can see that that daily 200 is nowhere near these targets, so that's why we have to look at the highest of time frames and look at those scenarios. So I'm going to go to the 4 hour now because I was seeing this descending triangle. I just didn't have enough time to make videos for you guys in the last week or 2 weeks. So sorry about that, to be honest, guys. I have been trying to get out as many videos as I can, but obviously sometimes I just don't have the time to do it. So let's get you your technical target out of that. So from the top, from the first touch of resistance back to support, basically. So once we lose support, which we have, and we have backtested as resistance twice, this line is a bit, there we go. So you backtest as resistance twice, basically. You lost it, got back above, lost it. So the move to the upside was basically a fake out, and then you arched away. So you corrected slowly upwards, then smacked as resistance, and now that's why we're rolling over. Right now we are below the 1. So if we were to get back above it and confirm that support, and then potentially get the 12 and the 20 to do a bullish cross, we could see us get back up to here, but we could get rejected again, guys, and fall over eventually to this target. So right now, out of this descending triangle, you are actually in a technical target to roughly $214, and that is completely losing and testing the 1 as resistance, showing us a higher likelihood that we are going to roll to that 0.786. And you can see you don't have a lot of support really. It's just like once you lost that support out of this, also this M pattern or descending triangle, you rolled over all the way down to that 786 where you had this swing high. So this is why I think that if we do lose the 1, which we have, confirm it as resistance, which we potentially already are doing, then we could roll over to that 786, which is that 12 monthly EMA. So what else is there over here? I think see another descending triangle over here. So this is your support. Well, let's just call it an M pattern. 1 top, 2 top. So from here to here, put it on the break of the neckline. Yeah, you've already met that technical target, so that doesn't matter too much. So yeah, it's all about getting back above that 1, basically at 245. Until then, you're on a technical target to the 214, and going back to the monthly, because we have formed that that shooting star, and look what happened last time you did it, rolled over to where? The 12, and then a wick down to the 20. So that's what could potentially happen right now. And then look what happens after completely months and months and months. Every correction where we go down for more than 2 months or more, look at the pumps afterwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, let me do that again. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could get something like 4 months of up afterwards, and that could be taking us to these targets up here. I do think we will meet this. We could potentially get to 2,100, and these, to be honest guys, looking at the 2s, any of these 2s would be significant take profit levels. But of course none of this is financial advice, but if it was me, I'll be looking to take some profit here, here, here and here. I'm not saying sell everything, wait for it to come down. I'm saying just thinking about taking some profits off the table, because you don't want to just hold out for this and it never gets there. You know what I mean? We could even overshoot it completely, but you don't want to just be like, yep, this is the point where I'm going to sell 100%. You're never going to get to that point, to be honest, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, none of this is financial advice. It's all for educational purposes only, and I hope you found value in today's Elrond update. Please, I urge you all to watch that Bitcoin update if you care about your Elrond holdings. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Follow my Twitter where I've already posted a Bitcoin update today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.